The runners lead. The 2-2 pitch. A ground ball to the shortstop. Mason Wynn flips to second. They get the out at second base on Millis. That's a Redbird winner. 6-4 on the force play. Light it up in downtown St. Louis. The Cardinals beat the Nationals in game one of the three-game series, 4-2.
A good win for the Cardinals. They knock off Washington by a 4-2 score as they open up this series with a victory. Good win, kind of get some of that feeling that they had out of the Cub series out of their system, and now they're able to start this final week of the year with a really good win. Not well, the year of the pre-All-Star break portion of the season, I should say. Hey, it's 12:18 in the morning. I'm going to say something that's not right at some point in time, but it is the Extra Innings Show. It's presented by Gray Bar. Gray Bar is your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Welcome to the program. Thank you for staying up late or getting up early with us as the Cardinals sat through a delay, which was technically 2 hours and 19 minutes. But mentioned earlier the fact that the tarp went on the field late in the afternoon. For guys in the clubhouses, they were kind of stuck in the clubhouse or in the tunnel around the cage area for quite some time, waiting through it. We heard Sonny Gray a few moments ago talk about the challenges that went along with that and how weird of a delay it was. But credit to the Cardinals, credit to their stadium operations, credit to the grounds crew for being able to play this game tonight. Yeah, I had said on social media, and I mentioned this when we were covering the rain delay. I had mentioned the fact that I thought they were going to do everything in their power to get this game in because it set them up for the week where they could get 2 starts out of Sonny Gray. And from a baseball standpoint, it just made so much sense to get this game in. Also, from a starting pitching standpoint, you may already be calling up Michael McGreevy this weekend for a start. He just pitched this past weekend. So if you would have had a doubleheader, you were going to be looking for another pitcher to make a start at some point, or a doubleheader, a rain out just would have really put this team in a tough situation. So there were a lot of baseball reasons to play this game tonight. Most importantly, it sets you up for Sonny Gray to be able to get 2 starts here in the final week before the All-Star break. And I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this conversation, but I had a conversation with Matt Gifford, who is the head of stadium operations here at Busch Stadium. And I asked him flat out, I said, did you get an edict from the Cardinals and from the team saying, get this game in, we have to play it, just because of the whole Sonny Gray thing? And he said, no, but he said something that I think should be important to Cardinals fans to hear. And that's why I'm sharing this. He said, people took time out to come to the ballpark. They drove here. They bought tickets, paid for parking. They came to the ballpark to watch a game, and it's our job to get a game in. So I love that attitude from him. It's a really cool thing that he did and that he said. So I wanted to pass that along because I think it should make Cardinals fans feel pretty good about the folks that are over here at Busch Stadium making decisions like those, that they wanted to make sure that if they can get games in, they will get games in. And all in all, it wasn't that terrible of a delay, and the Cardinals were able to get a win. I always say, if you're going to win, it can take as long as you need it to take. If you're going to lose, go ahead and lose fast. We don't need to be here all night long for a loss for sure. So if you want to chime in, we are here for you. You can call, text, or tweet. If you call or text, or leave a comment in the video chat for those of you who are watching on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. For those of you who want to call or text, the phone number is 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. If you want to tweet at me, you find me on Twitter at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air. And like I mentioned, if you're watching on the video stream, you can just leave a comment in the chat and that will come to us. Let's start going through. Well, I guess I just thought it was a good win. And we heard Oliver Marmol open up his post-game media session talking about the various things that happened in this game that made it a good win. And I think the team staying ready to go through a lengthy rain delay is the first thing. Sonny Gray was pretty good. And I'm sure it was they knew going in that it was going to be a limited start. I think his start was limited even more by the rain delay. We talked so much about his process to get ready and everything. So he was already probably a little bit impacted by that. But I would have guessed that Gray was already going to be somewhat limited in this game, since they do plan to bring him back on the 4 days rest, which he hasn't pitched a lot on 4 days rest this year. So bringing him back on 4 days rest, they were probably already planning on it being a little bit of a short start for him. Bullpen was fantastic. Matz, Maton, Romero, Helsley all did their job. There were a couple well-placed double plays in this game. Offensively, the Cardinals get some home runs. Love the home. You hit home runs, you tend to win games. I know everybody loves to talk about small ball and all that sort of stuff. Give me the home runs. You hit home runs, you tend to win games. And they got 2 home runs tonight. Brendan Donovan and Lars Nootbaar each going deep. That was notable for this club, and the Cardinals do come away with the 4-2 victory. Let's go ahead and, as I mentioned, we'll get to some of the messages that are starting to come in. Text message from the 573 says, that's a nice bounce back for the Cardinals. Sonny did great. The bullpen did a great job. Let's go win the series tomorrow. Love it. Our guy, Ball Game, sending in, says the 49th tip of the cap goes to the lone all-star Brendan Donovan for the game-tying home run, but the raise of the glass goes to KMOX for the flagship announcement before the game and the rain delay material from Live at Shannon. Says absolutely gold. Had several friends reach out during the game and express how much they enjoyed it. Yeah, I hope you were able to enjoy what we had during the rain delay. We had a Live at Shannon's where it was Joe Torre and Bob Gibson, which was awesome, and then Stan Musial, which was also awesome. And so we had that, and then we the announcement made earlier in the day, the multi-year announcement that the Cardinals and KMOX are going to be sticking around for a while. So that is also absolutely fantastic news, and we are very happy about that. So yeah, good stuff all the way around that we're able to bring KMOX for quite some time here on KMOX. So good stuff all the way around. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back, and we will continue to take your comments. If you want to get in here, you can do so by calling or texting 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. You can tweet at me, or you can leave a message in the video chat. We've got some of those messages coming in. We'll start looking at those coming up in just a moment. This is the Extra Innings Show here on KMOX.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we are more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. From startups to established businesses to estate plans, we are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. With offices in Missouri and Illinois, you can conveniently visit us today at sandbergphoenix.com. That's sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
You know Gray Bar for electrical parts. But there's one more thing you may not be thinking of us for that can help maximize your next project's total value. Our pre-project planning services are designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
Certainly appreciate you being with us in now the wee hours of the morning. Does this 12 a.m. hours count as wee hours, or do we need to get like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning before it's the wee hours? Whatever it is, we're here a lot later than we thought we were going to be, but that's okay because we are talking about a Cardinals victory. They knock off the Washington Nationals by a 4-2 score. If you want to get in here, you can call, text, or tweet, or leave a message on the chat. If you call or text, the phone number is 314-436-7900. 314-436-7900. If you tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air, or you can, like I said, leave that chat. For one of the things I really enjoy when we're on at this time, like 12:30 in the morning right now, this is prime people listening to KMOX all over the country on 11:20 a.m. So even if you do not have a comment about the Cardinals, if you are listening right now from outside of the St. Louis area and you're on 11:20 and it's the middle of the night and you're loving it, just text in. You don't have to say anything else. Just text in at 314-436-7900 and tell me where you are listening from. 314-436-7900. That's how you text in. We love that we are on 104.1 FM in the St. Louis area, but we always love the 1120 signal and just the special connection that we have with people across basically the entire country as this is out there in the middle of the night. So, if you are listening outside of the St. Louis area, wherever you might be, just text again the phone number 314-436-7900. Tell me when you are listening from, and that's just for this is very self-serving right now because I want to know where people are listening from. All right, let's get to some of the messages that are coming in. Justine, says, as bad as the week it was, still only a game and a half out of the wild card. Yeah, a conversation I had with a few people today. This road trip that the Cardinals just got done with, they went 4-5. Nobody's going to be overly upset about a 4-5 road trip by itself. The problem was how the road trip went down. Winning the first 3, not scoring a single run against Pittsburgh, and then in the 2 losses against Chicago, allowing 22 total runs. So that was the problem with the week. The record wasn't the problem. A 4-5 road trip, fine. It was watching the games and seeing the way things went down. And I think there's 2 ways to also look at this, which is really important. The team is in a perfectly fine place in terms of still being in wild card contention. In the division, it's going to take some work. It is obvious. Cubs did lose tonight, by the way. So there you go. That was good. But the Giants, because right now the Cardinals, they're chasing the Giants for that final wild card spot. The Giants won in a really stupid way tonight. Stupid in a I'm annoyed about it fashion. It was an inside the park home run with runners on to finish the game off, where the ball went out to like right center there in San Francisco and caromed off that brick wall, and the center fielder had committed too far and the ball rolled forever, and that's how they won. So Cardinals were very close to picking up a game on the Giants today, which would have been nice, but it did not happen. So that's the Cardinals are in a fine spot, but there are some things that were exposed. Is exposed the right word? There were things that were there this past week that need to be fixed. And some of them are going to be fixed by this team getting some time off and the team getting healthy. Some of them may be fixed by changes in the roster or positioning. I don't think Eric Fetty makes the start this weekend. I don't think he makes his next start. I think Michael McGreevy does. I don't know that for sure. The All-Star break throws kind of a wrench in this whole thing. They have not announced what's going on right now. Eric Fetty is still probably in there in pencil, but I don't think he makes the start this weekend. we'll have to wait and see. I do think Miles Michaelis makes his start coming up in a couple days, and that's going to be a huge start for him. My rule of the 3 straight bad starts thing. Well, if he has he has been not good for a while now, but he sprinkles in the respectable starts. If he has a really tough next start, then that's something where I don't know how you move forward with him. The Cardinals will tell you that they thought they saw something from him in his last start when he was able to kind of get through, after he gave up all the home runs. He went the next 3 that maybe he was tipping or something. I don't know. It's more than just that start. It's been going on for a while. We're going to see him. At this point, it's not worth arguing whether or not he should or should not make the start. The next question is, does he fix something? And if he doesn't fix something, where do you go from there? And then you're in the exact same spot with Michaelis that you are with Fetty right now. But from an overall standpoint, I think the Cardinals are in an okay spot right now in terms of just still being in contention for a playoff spot. Mass Monster says Cardinals fans won't find out about Fetty and Michaelis being moved out of the starting rotation until the end of the month. It's going to be a long month. Let's wait on Fetty. I think Fetty. Look, I don't move on. Fetty is a guy that you'd still definitely try to get back to where he was, because he is somebody who, when all of his pitches are working the way that they were working last year with the White Sox, and then a little while after he made that trade, he can be a very effective pitcher. He's not effective right now. I do think it's up to the organization to try to get him back to being that. But I don't think that happens by him continuing to make starts. Got a couple messages coming in from people who are listening to us in different places. Got Peoria, Illinois, home of the Cardinals affiliate. Peoria was rained out tonight, unfortunately. Newton, Iowa is represented. We got somebody texting in from Ohio. That's good. Rochester, Illinois. McLeansboro, Illinois. O'Fallon, Missouri. Thank you. Baldwin, Missouri. All right, we're into the St. Louis area right now. That's good. Jackson, Mississippi. Like that. Jackson, Missouri as well. Got someone from Chicago. St. Paul, Minnesota, checking in here in the middle of the night on 11:20 a.m. Love it. So fun to see all those different messages that come in. 314 says, starting to get really interesting with the trade deadline approaching and the team still in contention. How will Mozeliak and company handle this? I think it depends a lot on where they're at. If this week looked like last week, and then they come back from the deadline and they have a third week like that, all of a sudden you're probably not adding. If this team can, have a good week this week against 2 teams that are very beatable in the Washington Nationals and Atlanta Braves, and they go into the break and they're right there, and then they come out of the break and they're able to have some success. The schedule is set up for them to be able to have success leading into the trade deadline. So this week they are going to match up against the Nationals and the Braves, and then they're going to come out of the All-Star break. They'll go to Arizona. Arizona struggled this year. They're better than their record. Then they go to Colorado. You have to have success there. They have a huge series against San Diego, because San Diego is another team that they're contending with for a wild card spot. So that's going to be those are the games that are going to be coming up. They're going to match up against San Diego, basically leading into the deadline as the deadline takes place. I guess they'll have a series against Miami before the deadline. But yeah, that's where they're going to be at coming in. So it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see for sure. Got somebody checking in from Denver, Colorado. That is good to see as well. All right, I think that is just about going to do it for the program tonight. Do want to remind you once again that the show is being presented by Graybar. Graybar is your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. What's on Deck is presented by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Game 2 of the series coming up later on today. Andre Palante against Mackenzie Gore, 6:45 first pitch. When I say later on today, obviously mean Wednesday, because we are past the 12 a.m. hour. 6:45 first pitch. Our coverage is going to begin at 5:50. Appreciate all the interaction. Appreciate all the people being tuned in the middle of the night. This is fun sometimes. We've got these because we know so many folks are listening across the country. Have a wonderful rest of your overnight. We'll talk to you again later on Wednesday for more Cardinals baseball right here on KMOX.
They are a Hall of Fame company.